What's going on, guys? Phil here with Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube. And a few of us were sitting around the shop and we kind of had this conversation about forged wheels and how the entire forged wheel game is changing. So we wanted to bring that to you guys and kind of get your thoughts on it. Before I jump into the video, I do want to quickly explain to you guys the difference between a forged wheel and a cast wheel. If you aren't sure, we've done videos on it before, but if you don't know, essentially a forged wheel is going to be a single piece of aluminum that is CNC machined out to create the entire design. So that one piece of aluminum is pressed under a ton of heat and pressure to like forge, hence forged wheels. That block of aluminum where then it's CNC machined out, like I kind of said just moments ago. And then cast wheels are typically made in like a low pressure cast environment where you have a mold and then you have molten metal, and you're taking that molten metal and filling the mold, typically an aluminum alloy. So solid piece of aluminum, aluminum alloy. Those are the main differences. Then there's some guys in between that are making like flow formed or rotary forged or compression forged wheels. You might see any of those names. So those are going to be the guys that kind of take a hybrid of the two of them. So it's companies like Venom Rex in the like off-road section and Axe in the show truck section. So just so you have kind of a background of what they are. Now, when it comes to forged wheels, there used to be like two main players. You had Specialty Forged and American Force, and those two companies made 98% of the forged wheels in the truck market, and they made some pretty crazy designs. They would essentially make whatever you wanted because since they have these blanks of just forged aluminum, they can cut in whatever design you want. Obviously they have the ones that we list out on the website as like the standard options, but if you wanted to pay for it, you could get anything you want cut into these wheels. Now, with that being said, I talked a little bit about price, but forged wheels are significantly more expensive than cast wheels just because of the cost of materials and the man hours involved making them. You need to pay somebody to sit there and run that CNC machine. You know, obviously they can just press buttons and watch it go, but you still need people there involved in the process. So forged wheels, significantly more expensive than cast wheels because you can mass produce those and just pour them in a mold and they get banged out in China, whereas the forged wheels, a lot of times, although aluminum may come from China or other places outside of the US, a lot of the actual machining is done here in the States, so it just drives cost up. So people used to justify that by saying, oh, forged wheels are lighter and forged wheels are stronger and you're gonna get better gas mileage because they're so much lighter. But every time that I've compared a forged wheel to a cast wheel, out of all the examples we've had here, I pick up a cast wheel and then I pick up a forged wheel, and that forged wheel always is heavier. I don't know if that's just because the material is that much more dense, or if there's just pockets inside of these cast wheels, or what exactly is going on there, the science behind it. But a lot of the mentality of that you're getting a lighter wheel isn't true in all of the examples that I've tested. Now, do you get a stronger wheel? Yes, that is one thing that's certain, is you do get a much stronger wheel because it's that forged single piece. So that's why like a lot of the dually guys run them. But what's happened is, like I said, American Force, Specialty Forged, those are your two big guys. Now, it seems like, I mean, every couple of weeks that there's a new forged wheel brand starting, and people are just getting these things from wherever and throwing them out there and calling themselves forged, even though sometimes they're not forged, sometimes they are compression forged, and people are calling that fully forged wheels. So there's just kind of some confusion in the market as far as what wheels are actually forged, what wheels are not fully forged, and which wheels are cast. The cast part is pretty much set in stone. But with that being said, there's a forged wheel company out there that has been around for like a year now, and they have 700 followers on Instagram. They have 200 likes on their Facebook page. It just seems like forged wheels are getting no traction anymore, and I think that's because so many companies are going to that forged lineup. Now, there's other like big cast name people that have also made forged wheels, like Motometal is huge, obviously, in the cast wheel world, and they also have a Motometal forged lineup. There's plenty of other examples like that, but a lot of these companies are all owned by the same people. Wheel Pros, Wheel One, ATD, they own all of these big brands, so they're like expanding each individual one out into the forged world, and they're just becoming less and less exclusive. So that's where we had to ask ourselves, are forged wheels dying? Are people not going to buy forged wheels anymore? With the technology in compression forged, I think that's like the way to go. That's where the future of wheels is, because you can get strength, you can still produce them for a relatively low price, and people can still pick them up and be budget friendly. These forged wheels get so expensive that not many people are running them, and then the people that do they're your SEMA guys or the guys that just go completely all out on their truck and they get these big, massive setups. So that's where the downfall is. If you're marketing a really, really expensive product to a very small amount of people, it's hard to develop that brand to get it to really blow up. Whereas if you have cast wheels that everybody can afford, it's much easier to market because you might have tens of thousands of people that are willing to run those wheels. Whereas in the forged wheels, yes, everybody wants forged wheels. They look really good. It's a status thing. It's like having a MacBook Pro rather than having the name, like the off-brand, whatever Windows PC that you can buy at Best Buy. But they're just so expensive that not many people can actually afford them. So everybody wants it, but you can't actually get it. So you put all this money and effort into marketing it, and a couple of people buy it, maybe. Most people are gonna ask you for a sponsorship, and they're only gonna run them at SEMA, and that just kind of seems that's where forged wheels are going. So moral of the story is, if you're one of those guys that buys Jordans, but you don't play basketball, then yeah, forged wheels might be for you, because you can buy these super rugged, very strong forged wheels that are a pain to clean, and they're gonna look great on your truck. They are gonna look great, you can't deny that. But do you really need them, and are they worth the extra price? That's really up to you. There's plenty of people out there, like all these different hype clothing brands like Supreme, and you got the Yeezys and all that. People are paying ridiculous amounts for, it's just shoes. I mean, my Nikes do fine. This is where I'm gonna tell you guys that I have fake Yeezys because I bought those for 50 bucks. Now somebody can finally call me out on there. But you don't need the really, really fancy shoes. So do you also need the really, really fancy wheels? I mean, you guys can just drop your comments below and let us know what you think is going on with forged wheels. But it seems like they're becoming less and less popular. More people are going compression forged. More people are going cast. You have companies like Archon coming out with proper directional cast wheels, and it's kind of changing the way of the entire industry as far as what people are picking for, what types of wheels they're running, what styles of wheels they're running, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I kind of rambled on forever, one giant take, but you get the point. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Peace.